Hello again, it's Noob, and today we're going to look at how lockpick snap guns like this work. Here's some demos. So what's happening here? Well, when we pull the trigger on this tool, you'll see that the tip comes down, and once you hear this big click, you'll see that this tip shoots straight back up under spring pressure. When we put the tip of this tool inside a lock, what we're going to do is put the tip underneath the key pins, which are the bottom row of pins that you can see here. When we pull the trigger, this tool is going to strike up on those key pins and smash those key pins into the top row of pins, which are the driver pins. So you can see the key pins here, they're going to be hit into the driver pins. The driver pins are going to be forced up against that spring pressure into the Bible. So what we're looking to do inside the lock on all of the pins all at the same time is for these key pins to be hit by the blade of the tool and for these driver pins to be forced up against the spring pressure all at the same time. Hit the key pin, transfer the energy to the driver pin lifts up, and hopefully if all of those driver pins are caught above the shear line all at the same time, that lock will turn and the plug will open. So this is classic kinetic energy transference. Think of a Newton's cradle or these click-clack balls. If we consider the right hand ball to be the key pin, and we're going to add energy to that by lifting it up, let go, it will smash into the left hand ball, which in our case will be our driver pin, and you'll see the energy transference. That is what's happening when the blade of the tool is smashing up against the key pins. The energy is transferred from the key pin to the driver pin, and that will hopefully leave a gap between the key pins and the driver pins we can exploit and open the lock. Let's take off the cover. So now we have the cover off, let's have a look at what we can see. Here is obviously the hollow handle, we have the trigger, we have the tip itself, and then we have a sprung bolt assembly. And the trigger itself, once pulled, will engage with this little toggle with that sprung bolt assembly and withdraw it back. This toggle mechanism here is just so simple yet so effective. You can see that this up post acts as a guide so that this is able to travel along the guide. The top part of the toggle is pulling on that bolt, and once it reaches the end of its travel, it will snap just like that and reset. It's so simple yet so effective. This whole bolt assembly here can't be undone because it seems to be welded down, but what we can do is remove this tensioning screw here, and all this does is allow you to compress the spring inside the bolt assembly by turning it this way to extend the amount of this screw which is pushing against the spring on the inside, or turn it the other way to relieve some of that pressure. If we remove the spring, we can see just how strong it is and so hard to compress, and we can retract the bolt a little bit to see how the spring sits inside its housing. At this end, we can see how springs keep the tip blade down at its resting position, ready to receive the bolt as it comes sliding up and slamming into that assembly, in which case it'll then force this tip to shoot up and transfer its kinetic energy into those key pins and in turn into the driver pins, and hopefully get them all out of the way of the plug so that we can turn it. Let's see how the bolt slams into this tip assembly once we pull that trigger. So there you go, that's how this lockpick snap gun works. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed and want to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button, it really helps me out. If you have any comments, leave them below. I do read them all and reply to as many as I can. And of course, stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.